Hello, readers. Welcome to another reading class with me, Miss Taylor. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's get ready to read. Do we have our textbook? Check. Do we have a bookmark or our finger, something to help us track and follow along? Do we have our workbook? Check. A pencil? Check. All right, some things we're going to remember. We're going to track with our finger. We're going to read each word carefully. And we're going to pay attention to end marks. Some of our goals for today, we're going to read with accuracy and expression. That means adding some feeling to our voice. We're going to understand what's happening in this story, and we're going to make connections to characters' feelings. Let's enjoy the story. All right, we know that reading is thinking. There's so much going on in our brains as we are reading. Think your brain. Thank you, brain. All right, we have a new vocabulary sentence today. Our new vocabulary sentence is, she automatically arranged the flowers. She automatically arranged the flowers. So she arranged the flowers. That means she put each flower where she wanted it. She carefully arranged, she put each flower where she wanted it. And she did that automatically. Things that happen automatically don't require any thought. Listen to the sentence again. She automatically arranged the flowers. So what word means she put things where she wanted them? Yeah, arranged. What word means without thinking? Automatically. Nice job. All right. Let's go ahead and open up to lesson 33. And lesson 33, we have 3 word lists. Alrighty. So let's take a look at the first column. Please use your finger or a bookmark to track and follow along in your book. So column number 1, all these words have more than one syllable. The first part of each word is underlined. Word 1, what's the first syllable? And the whole word. Word 2, first syllable. And the whole word. Word 3, first syllable. And the whole word. Word 4, first syllable. And the whole word. And word 5, first syllable. And the whole word. Nice job. All right, let's try it the fast way. However, explodes, underwater, volcano, coughing. Nice job. Let's go to column 2. Column 2, word 1 is swift. What word? Yeah, swift is a synonym for fast or quick. And synonyms are words that mean almost the same thing. So if you are swift, you are quick, you are fast, you are speedy. Swift. All right. Word 2 is glanced. What word? Like he glanced out the window. A quick look. Word 3 is thud. What word? Thud, like a loud sound. Thud. Word 4 is pores. What word? And word 5 is directed. What word? Nice job. All right, let's try the fast way. Swift, glanced, thud, pores, directed. Nice job. And column 3, word 1 is quake. What word? Yeah, when something quakes, it shakes very hard. Word 2 is hardened. What word? Hardened. Something that gets hardened becomes hard. Word 3 is explosion. What word? Word 4 is prancing. What word? Prancing. And word 5 is divided. What word? Nice job. Alrighty, let's go to our story for today, part B. Volcanoes and earthquakes. All right, please follow along with me. Track with your finger. You will be reading about volcanoes and earthquakes. A volcano is a mountain that is made of hot, melted rock. That rock comes from inside the earth. Ooh. So what's a volcano made of? Hot, melted rock. And where does it come from? Inside the earth. The picture shows what a volcano would look like if it were cut in half and we could see the inside. There is a layer of melted rock in the earth far below the volcano. All right, so you can see the words melted rock in our picture. And that word for melted rock, when it's underneath the surface of the earth, underneath the crust of the earth, do you know what it's called? It starts with an M. Magma. It's called magma. And then do you know what it's called when it comes out, when it pops through the crust of the earth? It starts with an L. Lava. Nice job. The melted rock moves up to the surface of the earth. When the melted rock pours out onto the surface of the earth, the rock cools and becomes hard. More melted rock piles up on top of the hardened rock. The volcano keeps growing in the shape of a cone. It's growing and growing. So a volcano is kind of in the shape of a cone. Can you make your hands like a cone? And the melted rock pours out of the volcano, and then the rock cools and hardens. So it comes out the top, and then it cools and hardens. Cools and hardens. All right. The volcano may pour out great clouds of smoke. Sometimes a volcano explodes. Sometimes there are earthquakes around volcanoes. Oh dear. All right, let's look at part C, everybody. What's the title? Explosion. Oh dear. The title is Explosion. And again, we are on lesson 33 today. Lesson 33, explosion. Oh my goodness. All right. Explosion. All right. Carla and Edna were tugging at the vines that were tangled around Carla's leg. Remember, Carla was stuck. Her leg was twisted around a vine. Remember, Edna went back to help her friend. The vines were like thick, sticky ropes that wouldn't let go. Occasionally, Edna glanced up and looked at what was happening in the clearing. The 3 Triceratops dinosaurs were lined up waiting for Tyrannosaurus. The giant Tyrannosaurus was prancing around with its mouth wide open. Are you visualizing that? Are you painting a picture? Tyrannosaurus prancing around with his mouth open. It would move toward the Triceratops dinosaurs, and then it would back away. From time to time, it would let out a terrible shriek. Oh, a terrible shriek. Right. Whew. So Tyrannosaurus didn't just attack the Triceratops because there were so many of them. All right, this next part tells about what Edna was thinking and noticing. The leg is free. Whew. Take her hand and help her up. Now run. Keep an eye on her. Let her run in front of you. Push her on the back so she runs faster. Is that as fast as she can run? Let's get out of here. Keep running. Look, there's the beach. Run right down to the edge of the water. Stop. Turn around. Look back. Oh, they're not coming after you. Safe. Oh, safe. Whew, what a relief. Can you imagine how the girls must be feeling? Oh, like they got away. Now they're safe. The girls stood near the edge of the water for a few minutes, listening to the sounds that came from the jungle. The sounds told them that a terrible fight was going on. Tyrannosaurus would shriek from time to time. Then there would be a great thud. What do you think that thud would be? It would be like shrieking and then boom. Yeah, something heavy hitting the ground. Maybe one of the dinosaurs falling? After a few minutes, the shriek of Tyrannosaurus turned into a cry. What do you think might be happening to the Tyrannosaurus? Yeah, it's getting hurt by the Triceratops, I bet. Just then, the whole island seemed to shake. The whole island is shaking. The tops of the trees began to shake. They shook so hard that coconuts fell to the ground. Imagine coconuts falling onto the ground. The birds left the island. They were flying to the west. Suddenly, the ground shook with such force that Edna fell down. The red beach moved up and then down. It rocked to one side and then to the other. Earthquake! Carla yelled. Some trees near the edge of the jungle fell over. Some trees fell over. As Edna sat up, she noticed a great cloud of smoke over the top of the island. Volcano! She shouted. The smoke boiled and billowed into the air with great speed. Within a few seconds, it covered the whole eastern part of the sky, and still the smoke cloud was growing. So everyone, you can see the smoke cloud in the picture on page 162. Look at that big smoke cloud. Look at the way those billows of smoke seem to be boiling, like bubbling up, boiling. Come on, Edna shouted. She ran toward the boat. The beach suddenly shook. She stumbled, fell, and slid through the red sand. She got up and ran. The sky was now becoming dark as the enormous cloud continued to grow. The girls reached the boat and turned it over. They pushed it into the shallow water. When they were a few meters from the shore, a terrible quake shook the island. So the ground is shaking so much. It made a large crack in the sand beach. Do you see the crack in the beach right here? That crack moved out into the water right under the boat. See the crack? It's moving into the water right under the boat. Ugh. Suddenly, Edna noticed that the sand under her feet had disappeared, went into the crack. She slipped underwater. The currents were very swift, and she felt her feet being pulled into the current. Oh dear. So she's falling into this crack underneath the water. Oh my goodness. So the picture shows what happened to Edna. Everyone, is Edna in deep or shallow water now? Yeah, it's deep because she fell into that crack. And did Carla fall into the crack the earthquake made? No. So there's Carla. She's safe. Edna looks like she's in big trouble. Maybe you can make a connection to how she must be feeling. Pretty scared, pretty worried. Ooh. Edna reached up and tried to grab something. Her hand grabbed a rope that was attached to the front of the boat. She held onto the rope with all her might. The currents were spinning her around, but she kept a tight grip on the rope. Slowly, she pulled herself up to the boat. She came out of the water coughing. So she probably swallowed a bunch of water. Ooh, you know what? I have a quick connection to this story. One time with some family members, I went whitewater rafting, and me and another family member, we fell out of the boat. And there was all this water rushing over us, and it was really scary. We got back into the boat, but for a couple minutes, all that water kind of felt like I was drowning. Ooh, that was not a fun feeling. As soon as she caught her breath, she called, Carla, Carla. She had salt water in her eyes, so she couldn't see well. I'm here, Carla answered. Edna rubbed her eyes with one hand and looked in the direction of the voice. Carla was sitting in the boat. She helped Edna get into the boat. The sky was so dark now that it was almost like night. So the sky was so dark, it was like nighttime. Was it really nighttime? No. It was just dark from all the smoke from the volcano, the billowing, boiling smoke. All right, please read the rest of the story to yourself and get ready to answer some questions. If you're still reading, pause the video. So what happened to the volcano? Yeah, it exploded. So before Edna heard the explosion, she felt something. What did she feel? Yeah, she felt like this pressing against her face, like all the air was pressing against her, almost like a great wind pushing on her face. How loud was the explosion? Yeah, very loud. Really hurt their ears. And the story said the explosion was so loud that Edna's ears rang for hours. Your ears actually ring after you hear a very loud sound. You will hear kind of a ringing sound in your head. Maybe that's happened to you if you've ever, I know sometimes like when we're at school and we have a fire drill and there's that really loud sound, and then even after the fire drill is over, you can kind of still hear like a faint ringing in your ears. So Edna's ears rang for hours. That must have been a really loud sound. And what did the explosion do to the island? It knocked down all the trees. Oh my goodness. And everyone, did the girls know where they were going to go? No, they didn't know where they were going to go. All they knew was they wanted to be away from that island. Whew. All right, what's next? You're going to reread the story one more time on your own. Then you're going to answer the questions at the end of the story. Remember, you don't need to write them down, but you should know the answers. And then you're going to complete your workbook, submit some photos for me so I can see your amazing reading work. And then you're going to read for 20 more minutes on your own. And that could be right now, could be a little bit later. I know for me, I always read before bed. It's a really nice habit to get into. It's also really nice and relaxing. All right, our complete sentences for today are numbers 11 and 13. So in your workbook, number 11 says, oh, nope, that's not right. Miss Taylor's on the wrong page. That's not right. Okay, lesson 33. Oh yeah, actually just number 11. So our complete sentence answers for today, number 11. Okay, so number 11 says, why did Edna fall down on the beach? So you're going to write with a capital letter, Edna fell down on the beach because blah, 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 period. Okay, so capital letters and end marks for our complete sentence answer for number 11. All right, have a wonderful rest of the day. Readers, I will see you again soon. Bye.